Everything is kung fu.
You want to know what's funny? The fact that as a kid, when I watched this movie in theaters, I didn't even notice they said kung fu. The whole time I thought this was a karate movie, and I fully ignored that line. Imagine how different my life could have been. You know, instead of being sensei today, I could have been a seafood, maybe. Who knows? Thank God, am I right? Growing up, I was always into fighting, whether it was Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Transformers, especially The Last Airbender. I hope you guys know that one. I was always interested in it, but being a black guy growing up, I never saw a lot of black characters doing martial arts, so I just thought, it's not my thing. I just thought that wasn't for me. I didn't know I could learn how to fight. I thought I would just gotta fight. So growing up, me and my brother and my cousin, we'd always play fight. We'd always just hang out, do whatever, and just start scrapping. I don't know. We just start doing that. It was kind of fun. I always got into a lot of fights at school, and I would always like envision myself having like these cool like powers. And for the longest time, I never thought that doing martial arts could be my thing. But one day, my aunt, back in I think it was 2011 or 2010, it was 2010. That's when it came out. She took me to the movies, me and my brother, and we watched The Karate Kid in theaters. This one specifically. And when I watched it, all I remember was like, there's a black guy doing martial arts, and for me that was like revolutionary at the time because my world was very small, so I didn't know too much about any other black characters. I always saw white guys, Asian guys, doing that. And for me, that was like something different. I'm like, oh, it's possible. I can do that. And I watched the movie, and like I said, I didn't even notice they said kung fu in the movie. It was just, to me, it was like, oh, this is what karate looks like. Doing all these cool tricks, backflips and everything like that. Yeah, I want to do that. It's cool. So I remember for years after that, I was begging my mom to put me in karate, which she never did. And I would go in the backyard and start just practicing, the jacket on thing. I would just do that for hours. Even in my room, I would just hours doing that. And it's funny because to this day, I have no idea what that is or how it works in a real life situation. But it wasn't until a couple years later when my mom was like, there's two different types of Karate Kids. Yeah, the one we just watched, but then you have the original one. And I didn't know that. So I was like, there's another one. There's an original Karate Kid. And then that's when I don't remember how, but I think someone had, it was my mom. She had a DVD of it or something like that. I don't know. Someone. But I got the movie out and I watched it, the original one. And then when I watched it, I was like, everything makes sense now. Because up until that point, I was just Googling some karate videos, trying to figure out what karate is and how to learn more about it. I had this book that'll teach me how to make a proper fist, these different blocks and everything like that. And I was like, that's pretty cool, but how do I train now? How can I do it? Like I was trying to learn on my own because my mom didn't want to put me in karate classes. And doing all that until finally, I remember back in grade 6, I had this friend at school. He was a brown belt in karate. And I remember the moment I found out, I was like, can you teach me, please? Because I want to know. I want to learn karate. I didn't care who it was. I just wanted to learn. So I remember in recess, he would like try to teach me some random moves. Like, oh, do a forward stance, do a low block, do a middle block, do this and that. I was just trying to learn. I didn't care how goofy I looked like. I'm like, I know this looks weird to everyone else, but I want to learn. I was curious. That was me. And then finally, I woke up one day to the sound of my cousin yelling at me. All right? He's like, get up. We gotta go. And I'm like, where? And I'm like, go where? Why are we in a rush? And then for context, we used to have a paper route job. So we used to deliver newspapers. And he's like, I saw a newspaper, this world champion guy just opened a dojo nearby. And I'm like, a karate dojo? A world champion? nearby, sign me up. Why'd you tell me earlier? Like, we're late. We gotta go. So we got up. We drive down the street. We go to this dojo nearby. We took a wrong turn, and the dojo, I'm gonna be honest, it kind of looked, I didn't like the atmosphere. I felt very negative, and just like they're attacking me. My grandma was like, "Oh, this is the place," but I didn't even care like how it looked. I just said, "You know what? This is how karate is. Maybe I just gotta accept it, right?" But my cousin was like, "No, we're at the wrong place. We gotta go next door." So we went to the next plaza over, and then we found this place. I remember when I walked through the door, I saw this whole place. And back in the day, we didn't have that whole back area. That wasn't there. It was just to the wall, and the little floor over there, we call it the Mijo right now, but we used to have like a miniature, like I think it was like 4x4, like in the corner. It was just a fun spot, like 4x4 or 5x5, one or two. And I remember I came in, I was so like amazed, like, yo, look at this place. And then I see Mr. Shields, my sensei. And I remember the first thing I thought in my mind was, let me try to impress him. So me being a dancer, I was like, yo, check this out. After that, he, for some reason, he took me on as a student, and the rest is history. That's how I started karate. And from that point on, Karate Kid, the franchise, had a very special place in my heart, because although eventually I learned that Karate Kid, the karate in the 2010 Karate Kid wasn't actually karate, it was kung fu, and the original was actually karate. And it's kind of ironic that I'm doing Goju-Ryu just like in the original Karate Kid. But that movie had a very special place in my heart, because that's what inspired me to go on this journey. Because yes, I like Dragon Ball Z. Yes, I like Naruto. Yes, I like all these other type of shows. And it made me, that initially was the initial interest in martial arts. But that's what sparked the fire in me, that made me want to pursue this. And now that I'm seeing the Karate Kid Legends movie coming out, I have some high expectations. The movie looks good. Don't get me wrong. 'Cause I watched the Cobra Kai series. It was a very interesting series. I would say, from now that I'm like a martial artist myself, watching the karate, the quality from a show standpoint, it's pretty good. From a karate standpoint, it's interesting. We'll keep it at that. But it's interesting from an entertainment standpoint. So the Karate Kid Legends movie, when I'm seeing, now that I'm understanding, oh, it's karate and kung fu, that they're blending it, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds cool. That sounds really cool, So I want to see how they do that. I heard some reviews. Apparently, again, some mixed responses from some people think it's really good, some people thinking it's really bad. We'll find out. We're gonna watch it on Sunday with the dojo, and we're gonna have some fun. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys there, and I'll give you my thoughts after the movie. Same with my dojo, and let's have some fun.